Hey guys, welcome to episode 124 of 4PlayerAnimecast. It is the 3rd of August. I am your host, Spire. Pretty, well, I wouldn't say winding down, but we've already hit the halfway point of the summer 2019 season, so most series are on their episode 5s. Some are on 4s, right, because they started a week later. But most are on their 5s, and we'll be chugging along at a pretty steady pace. We've all got series to spare, and we'll be covering them in a short while. But yeah, I guess I'll start with what I've been doing past two weeks. I guess nothing much. Again, kind of like rotating around some scheduling things in real life, and then Evo is this weekend, or going on actually right now, fighting game tournament. So I've been watching a little bit of that, getting a little bit back into visual novels, so on and so forth. It's been pretty good, pretty relaxing for the most part. I almost dropped the bar on myself while I was trying to do bench press today. That wasn't very pleasant,
Nice.
but it was something. So that was unfortunate. But other than that, it's been pretty relaxing. Anyways, how about you, Dork? What have you been doing the past 2 weeks?
I've been keeping up with most stuff, starting some new stuff. Starting, was it Takagi-san Season 2? Started BEM. Started and was getting through and caught up with Symphogear. Their best season yet.
They are going to punch multiple takes now.
Yeah, it's got everything. It's got landmines. It's got small children being impaled in the beginning of the season for the rest of
I
the
like how
season to not be
one
as
of
dark.
Crunchyroll's most popular videos now on Symphogear is like them being it's literally just titled Death, and it's the one where have you seen it?
Yeah, Kirika's transformation. Yeah, they've just
Yeah.
been posting like a shitload of clips from Symphogear. But yeah, those transformation sequences this season are real good. So that's pretty sick. Just been a good one all around. This season overall has unfortunately not been as good so far for me.
I think I mean there are like a lot of series and there are like a lot of interesting premises, but again the sort of classic thing happened where a lot of them didn't pan out as well. Maybe I think.
Well, there were certain ones where like I'm just like kind of I should have looked into it more. Like I guess I don't
Oh,
know if
yeah,
it was
yeah,
just
sure.
because I didn't see like what studio is doing it or something. But like I was saying with that like Demon Girl Magical Girl show, like doesn't even really look that great visually. Like
Told you that.
no, not the Magical Girl mech one. This one was like the slice of life. But I haven't seen the Magical Girl mech one yet. But we'll get
Oh, the Granbelm. The Granbelm.
yeah,
Right?
Grand Blem or
Granbelm. I don't think
whatever.
any of
I
us have
haven't
seen
seen yet, but
except Nier. Nier, have you seen it?
No, I
Okay.
didn't want to watch that because it looked like doo doo.
Yeah, I don't. I'm a little bit suspicious of that, to be honest.
yeah. So I don't know. Apparently, Copcraft is a 7.3 from the Berserk 2016 studio.
It's like my face is an entire
I
like
doubt
dot
it.
JP
It's probably
dot
just
JP.
people like this is good. It's dark. Whatever.
Is Copcraft dark? I thought it
Is
was.
this supposed to be comedic?
I think
Oh
it's
no,
I think
it's
it's
like
I think
dark
it's
humor, I guess.
supposed to be like
I think it's like a cop drama
yeah,
thing,
like a
but it's not
grim.
really dark.
Yeah. Okay. So it's isn't it like I think it's like
Well,
episodic or something, right?
if that
Is it
was the
episodic?
case,
No,
then
it's not.
BEM should be like a fucking 9.0 because
Yeah, I mean that's for sure.
Bro, it's
I don't know.
gritty and realistic.
BEM has jazz. Okay,
It
so
has
like
dark palettes. Okay. But anyways, so been
pretty
pretty
much it.
okay. Okay. What about you, Toast?
I forgot to pull up the feed. Hold on.
What?
There it is. Okay.
What
What's
feed?
up?
Okay.
I gotta look at the comments too, you know. Say what were you talking about? What?
How are your 2 weeks?
When did I start Azure Lane? Was it before 2 weeks?
Within the last 2
It
weeks.
might have been before. I don't know.
I don't think so. Wait, no, it was before. I think we talked about the live 2D last time.
Okay. I don't know. Well, I'm trying to figure out what happened within the last 2 weeks.
It was just like blur. So many things happened.
I got rolled ice cream a couple of days ago.
Wait,
It
I
wasn't
forgot
good.
to ask. What did you get? What did you roll it with?
Strawberry.
Oh, strawberry.
They
that's
only added like
fantastic.
1 or 2 strawberries, and I'm like, oh, okay. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, might
Yeah,
as well just.
take your rolled ice cream back with you, Korean.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it Taiwanese?
I don't know.
I don't even.
I just know all the Korean people I know. Really.
Yeah,
I was-
Spire.
I was-
Tell me about your rolled ice cream. Is it better?
I have no idea. But that reminds me of there was this like one video in my video feed that was like somebody was taking like a Hershey's cookie or something like that and then making like rolled ice cream with it. But then like the way she did it was like she took the cream and like everything was there and then she started smashing the cookie and I was like, why don't you just smash the cookie first and then it'll be easier when you're rolling the ice cream. Like I didn't really get that, but I guess she's the one
It's
making
for
it.
you. It's for
It's
uniform
for
texture.
ASMR purposes. Yeah, uniform texture.
Let me.
But that's a little bit weird. I don't really get the rolled ice cream thing, or I get it, but I don't get it when they start going like,
novelty
oh,
thing. It's cost
Yeah.
like what, $15? Why get that? I don't remember the price. I bet it was like $15. I think.
I stopped really. The thing is, it's just like okay,
You
well,
know how much my strawberry cream cheese ice cream cheesecake cost?
yeah,
2 for $5. That's why I get like 5 of them. The stockpile, 5 or 6.
Stockpile for the apocalypse. But
and don't worry, I make sure to open each one to make sure it isn't tainted.
It wasn't
You gotta double
licked
check.
in the store.
Yeah, if the seal's broken, it's no good.
Anyways, so that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. I also tried to get into a fake grand order, but every time I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit.
But every time I watch YouTubes, they're like, hey, you downloaded Grand Order, right? Check out this Castronero, and it's always Castronero, and I'm like, how dare you target these ads towards me with one of my favorite servants? So
It's
so they're dangling that bait right in front of me, and it's pretty tempting.
Yeah, but it's like FGO at this point is, I don't know, it's not really too much of
I don't know, man. Have you seen Castronero? She's pretty cool.
know.
Just buy Extella.
What if I already have it?
It's like all about
I've never opened it.
buy it on Steam.
Then I guess you don't like Nero very much.
Yeah, I guess you fucking hate Nero.
I don't see a point of opening it. It'll ruin the collector's value. And our FB, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Game that has a like bonus edition already.
Does it count as MNB if I have the game but then I downloaded the DLC separately?
What?
You know,
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know NRFB, right?
No.
NRFB is never removed from box, and MNB is mint condition, no box. Did you know?
Are these like
DLC doesn't have a box.
Exactly. So does it count as MNB? Because it's definitely not NRFB.
My
these are
premium
shoutouts. These are good shoutouts,
DLC.
to be honest.
Yeah, but then like, where does the Halo 2 map pack for the original Xbox fall?
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyways, glad to see that you've been trying out some new things.
Have you guys tried Honkai Impact the Third? I keep getting ads for that too.
No,
Why not?
I don't know. 'cause
I don't. I mean, it's
I
been
don't
advertised a
go
lot, but I
around
don't really-
trying every mobile game that comes out, Toast.
Why not?
I don't really. I'm not really. Doesn't really seem like up my alley.
What's
But to be fair, not a lot of mobile games
What's
are
the
up my
one that Nekomiya Hinata played?
There are a lot of stuff that she plays. But either way, I'm glad to see you've been trying out some interesting new stuff, not just mobile games.
You
but
guys
also
shouldn't.
the
You
expert
guys
stuff.
shouldn't play mobile games unless it's Azure Lane.
Unless it's Azure Lane. That's
Shouldn't
Toast
play that
yeah.
either.
But
No,
Ne-
it's
Ne-
fair. You can like get here. You can get people just from like playing.
But Nier, have you seen
Yeah,
those
that works.
skins? Those skins are pretty spicy.
Yeah, that you have to like buy.
So I got like 1,800 gems just by playing the game. That means I can buy one skin.
Wow.
It's free skin.
Well, the summer ones are what 1080, and then the regular ones are like 600 to 800. So I can get two to three boring skins or one good skin, or I can spend 920 gems for this 2-in-1 ring pack. I might do that.
Oh.
'Cause
Anyways, yeah.
Promise rings are what 600 each, so it's what 30% off. It's kind of a
Oh my
steal.
fucking god. Alright, we're gonna stop this mobile game talk for now and move on to Nier. Who will also probably talk about mobile games, but still.
Haha.
Anyways, what the hell were your last 2 weeks about?
I don't know. I've been watching Evo.
Uh-huh.
Watching Grand Finals right now, where Deb is getting
Body
like,
part
massacred right now. But I'm pretty sure Deb beat Marlin Pie to send him into losers, right? He was in winners before,
What?
wasn't he?
It's probably because Marlon Pie is a little bit rusty with some characters and stuff.
I guess. But yeah, I don't know about these Grand Finals.
Nier.
Other than
What's-
that, I'm watching the really laggy Melty stream
shit.
as well. So that's cool.
Nier, what's the most delicious thing you've eaten in the past 2 weeks?
I don't know.
Tell us what the heck is this? What fancy
I don't
Canadian
go-
food have you
I
eaten?
don't go and eat $70 food like you do, Toast. So
What's the most Canadian thing you've eaten? Tell me.
like ever,
Yeah, or in the past 2 weeks.
I don't know, mac and cheese. Like I don't go out and eat like you do, Toast. So
You
I just
shouldn't.
kind of
It's
just
not. It's not good.
I kind of just eat whatever.
He is well versed in the language of crab rangoons.
Yeah,
You,
feeding
you know,
steak to his dog and shit.
crab rangoon's 25 cents a thing. So I usually get like a tub of 100 just for the day or so.
For the day. That seems like
Day.
an interesting diet.
I
Sure.
need to know where you're getting those.
You know, do you not have a local Chinese restaurant run by Mexicans nearby?
No, I
Chinese
can't say
restaurant
I
run by
do.
Mexicans.
I
No.
wish I did if they had 25-cent crab ragu.
I mean, I order it every so often. Be like, hey, can I go to order this? And they're like, sure thing. And I'm like, thanks. Also,
Sure thing. We're rich.
also get me and I'm like, can I also get a thing of General Tso's chicken and beef with broccoli? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. I mean,
Anyway,
do you guys
other
not
than-
have a buffet or something?
I don't go to eat buffet every 2 weeks, Toast. What are you talking
It's
about?
like not a thing that most people really
It
would or should do. To be
That's
honest.
definitely not something you should do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just go to the buffet and stuff my face full of food every
It
week.
reminds me of the fucking Jerry Seinfeld sketch about the face.
Do you guys not go to church every Sunday? And after Sunday, your mom or dad's like, let's go to the buffet, and I'm like, yeah.
I mean, the church, like churches can have like foods.
No,
like people laying out, like,
no.
foods or something.
You go to
It's
your church.
after church.
Yeah,
Who
after
the fuck
church.
goes to buffets
Yes,
after
immediately
church?
immediately after church, I stuff my face like a fat, disgusting slob.
Immediately after
I've-
It's
learning
the
about
best way to
sloth?
practice my faith.
Yeah.
No,
Like, after
not
church,
gluttonous at all.
after church at 11 a.m., all the Filipinos go to a buffet and eat food. This is pretty much a
What?
common thing. Like,
It is?
yes. That's why I'm like weirded that you guys don't do it.
Isn't it just like, I mean,
Are
like,
you
Koreans,
guys even Christian?
like Koreans
No.
have a thing where it's like they just have maybe people bring in food like at the church, and then afterwards like people just kind of like
Who wants
eat.
to hang out at the
But I don't
church?
have.
After your church, you get out. You eat
Wait, did
food.
you just ask who was hanging out at the church after you went to church?
I mean,
Wait a minute.
I mean, this is a secret, but the only reason I went to church is to get food afterwards. It's like you sit there for an hour or two, and it's like sometimes you hide in the bathroom when no one's looking for an hour, and then you're like, all right, oh, that was good church. Woo. Now let's go to the buffet.
Okay.
This is a pretty.
Right.
I don't know. I can tell who's Christian and non-Christian in here.
Yeah, only Christians stuff their face full of food every week. Anyway,
Is mac and
No.
cheese even Canadian?
there's not very many Canadian foods, Toast.
What about the gravy thing?
We have poutine and we have the disgusting abomination of pineapple pizza. Like,
That's from
Wait,
Canada.
did you? Oh yeah, you guys did make pineapple pizza.
yes,
I learned
pineapple
about that.
pizza
Yes,
is a Canadian thing.
Yeah, Hawaiian pizza is a Canadian thing.
What about like moose steaks or something?
Moose steaks? I
Or
don't
like
think they're
deer,
like a
venison,
horde
I don't
horde
know.
of
I'm pretty sure we
Canadians.
talked about this yesterday, where you can't just go out and kill meese. Like,
Yeah.
not something that you can just do.
Oh
Like,
my god.
like we also discussed that if you accidentally hit it with your car, you report it to the park ranger, and they're like, "Okay, you can have this." Then it's free.
No, you would just get to take the home. It's not how it works.
What if
Also,
it's-
if you hit a moose, you're not going to be able to take it home because your car is gone.
What if you hit it with like a cement truck or something by accident? Do you
I
guys?
think the moose will be gone at that point.
I don't know. What's a car big enough to accidentally hit a moose and then take it home to eat with?
Nothing.
None. If it's big enough to like
An
hit a
armored-
moose
an-
undamaged,
An
the
armored truck?
moose would be like
Obliterated.
obliterated. It would be disintegrated, dude.
Like a fucking plane could probably hit a moose, and the plane would still be fucked up.
What if it was a really big moose? You know, like one of those legendary mooses I hear about so
I
often.
think the plane would be even worse off. Yeah,
I
there's
was
like
supposed to be
no,
talking
there's
about
like
my 2
no
weeks.
size.
All right. Can we stop this? All right. Anyways, Nier. What else? What else were you up to?
Other than Evo, I've been playing more Shadowverse, of course. I think I talked about this last podcast, but I think Shadowverse is in a really good state right now. They actually I think like last week, they actually buffed some cards, pretty interestingly. They gave Reanimate Shadowcraft some support. They gave an Artifact Portal some more support by just like slightly buffing a couple cards, and it's just made the ladder environment just way more varied. Probably the most varied it's like ever been for me anyway. Here down in like the lower ranks, it's still all Havencraft and Bloodcraft, but Shadowcraft's in a pretty good state right now, I think. Other than that, I've just been playing some random games in my backlog, But yeah, that's about it for me. Just keeping up with the usual stuff. And I watched Vinland Saga, which I'll be covering later.
Okay. So, I mean, well, okay. We've got to be. Okay. I guess these past 2 weeks, I mean, we've been all kind of low energy here. I mean, other than the Evo, right? But
Yeah.
the Evo is sort of the main event. But I guess with that, we'll just go straight into the series, and I guess I'll just go first then. So my series was Kawaikereba Hentai demo suki ni natte kuremasu ka? Or in Japanese, it's abbreviated as HenSuki. Are you willing to fall in love with a pervert as long as she's a cutie? So this is a light novel original, rom-com, and I believe, I forget who was production studio behind this. I think it was like Silver. It's probably like somebody like Geek Toys. It's a probably very new, relatively new studio, probably in between tier 2 kind of stuff. They did read Read-Righted or whatever it is, the Tokikoe no Derida.
Rewrited.
Read-Righted, yeah. Rewrited. That was about a year, pretty much about a year ago. But now this is like their second main production series. A lot of big names, voice actors, stuff like that in it. Usual stuff. Taketa Sayana, Shimonohiro for the main. A very standard line, etc., etc. Nomizu Iri. But that's pretty par for the course these days. The light novel itself is just 6 girls fight over one dude, and they all have their weird like fetishes. So one is a masochist, another one is a sadist, another one's super into boys' love and wants to push the main character in boys' love, so on and so forth. Another one's like his sister, so there's like some Imoto Brocon thing going on. The standard like line of fetishes, right? So there are, I guess the comments I want to make about this is, first of all, there's like a good thing and a bad thing about this, like one major good thing and one major bad thing. And I think I want to say that if you have seen other rom-coms before, the bad will outweigh the good. But if you're kind of coming in like whatever, I'm just gonna watch this, then I guess the good outweighs the bad. It like kind of like the values depend on context, but it's at that point in like Japanese rom-com culture. So it's like, so the good part is that it comes in media res, and so like all the girls are already all set up and kind of doing this, and all that's left is kind of just start taking care of like the background stuff. And then the girls themselves, like the lines, the conversations and stuff like that are pretty snappy, and they're back and forth, and they're pretty well done. As a decent number of light novel series these days have pretty snappy dialogue. They're kind of copying upon each other, but it's like the back and forth, the shiraba, like the fights and stuff like that, are pretty well done. A little bit formulaic, but I mean, it is what it is. But because there's so much sort of spillover experience, right, from edoge writers, from other light novel writers, from stuff like that, a lot of the dialogue is very boom, 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 boom. It's like practiced, like manzai, like tsukomi boke comedy.
So who's the strongest of the group?
I am not sure. I'm gonna guess the BL lover, but the thing is,
Are you saying that she's the strongest because she likes BL? That she's the closest to a man?
yeah, she's very mannish.
True.
But either way, it's like that, and the interactions are like, okay, so if you're like that sort of person where you're like, a lot of time, like for me, I go into edoge, I'm like, oh, the dialogue is really nice. So even if the ending is kind of like janky, or like the overall sort of structure system / background of the story is kind of whack, I'm like, I get some value from it. I won't say overall it's a good like game. Like for instance, Grisaya, the Grisaya trilogy, for anybody who knows that, the Eden of Grisaya, the the Fruit of Chrysalia, stuff like the Labyrinth of Chrysalia, those the trilogy, I wouldn't necessarily say that's overall like really good series because I see some of the flaws in the background, but certainly the dialogue and stuff like that are very, very solid. So that being said, that's there. But then the bad part of it is it does sort of, it almost does the thing is, so the premise is there. So it's like um the motivating factor for the main character, or the main the MC, the main character, to go around and meet the girls and talk to them is there. Like, oh, I have a mystery letter. Guess who it is? Blah blah. Let's go around and talk to them. That's there, but the motivating factor itself is so weak compared to um how proactive the girls are and how the interactions work out, such that at the end of the day, it's just like it's as if the series is just like, oh, there are these 6 girls and this one dude. We'll just throw them in a room and then just shake them around, and then they'll start talking with each other and doing all these crazy shit. So in that sense, I don't really like how um aimless this is. Like, I'm sure a really good author could take an aimless series with like, 6, 7 people and kind of roll it into something really good. But with this author and with a lot of authors, I kind of have my doubts as to whether a rom-com thing with 6, 7 people just doing random stuff in a school classroom can really go in productive places, right? So in that sense, I think that is a flaw where the motivating factor is pretty weak compared to the characters, and then it kind of seems like, oh, the MC just kind of meets his senpai, and the senpai is like, has this fetish, and then she starts interacting with him, and then um then he meets his kohai, and the kohai, spills her background, and then she has these interactions, and then the girl interacts with the other girl, and it's just like, boom, 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 just like girls coming into collision, just meeting, and just having all these like random interactions with each other, with no real regards to the central flow of the story, right? The central mystery of the story, or any sort of major direction, right? Which um even in series like, let's say, Yudo Camp, right, or like Keon, where it's like there are these just X number of girls doing random things, there is still even sort of like a central theme to drive some of this stuff, right? But HenSuki doesn't really have even that sort of like a central theme other than fetishes, which isn't really a central theme so much as it is just like a thing that each girl does, right? So I think that sort of aimlessness, that sort of lack of productive, like, doing anything with the MC or with the girls is in my opinion, a pretty major flaw. And taking that overall, I think if you've seen a lot of rom-coms before and you're like, okay, I want things, I want obviously the dialogue, but I want things to also kind of go places, so the MC and the girls aren't just sitting there all the time. I do think that it is overall not a very good series. But if you're coming in there, you're just like, oh, I just want to kind of listen to the dialogue and just laugh and just be like whatever. I think you can still gain some okay value from what this series offers. I still won't say it's like an overall like good series or anything like that, but like it's there. Like so I guess my overall statement on that thing is it's there. There's really not too much to say about it. Uh, Again, dialogue is formulaically decently done, but it's very, very aimless. So I don't really approve of that sort of thing. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had for HenSuki. Do you guys have any like things you want to ask?
So there's 7, right?
There's 6 girls, 1
6?
MC.
What, 6? That's 6. So is 5 better? Is 6 better than 5? Is it?
Uh,
Wait, was it 5? 1, 2, 3. That's quintet, right? Yeah.
They're also not a quintet, but okay.
Is it
But
better? Is it better than what if it's in a classroom? Is it better than the first probably the first arc of Negima? I would ask. Just the first arc.
Just the first.
Because, after that, we get to the battle arc. Because Ken Akamatsu is like, I want to make a battle manga. Then,
I don't think this is a very comparable toast.
but if the thing is, as long as she's a cutie, which one's the cute one?
I would ask, how is the screen time for each crawl? Like, is it even, or does it focus on like two of them? You know, Spire dead.
Dude asks, "What do you think?"
If one of them is voiced by Ayana Takatatsu, right?
Yes, the black-haired one.
Well,
So what was that one with the naked chick with the panties on her head? Shimoneta? Is it like this?
yeah.
Or more like was it show bitch? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Which
But
is it more like one of
also-
those?
I mean, if you had to choose, it's probably closer to show bitch, but Spire's dead.
yeah,
So-
sorry.
Spire. Is this more like show bitch or is this more like Shimoneta?
No, Shimoneta's definitely more thematic and like kind of like doing stuff. Shobich, I would say it's more like Shobich, to be honest.
Okay.
So
So is it
yeah,
good?
no, it's
Is it better than
yeah.
show bitch?
I would say it's. God, that's a difficult question to. I would say it's almost around the same, maybe slightly better, but again, it's like at this point you're just talking about. It's like again talking about fucking Astro Score versus Rocket Aikishi. It's like at this point both of them are pretty much like in the mediocre bag. You're like whatever, just put them in.
Are we gonna bring
Yeah,
up that
says
Rocket
you.
Aikishi? Yeah, it says you, Spire. We all know Rocket Aikishi's better.
Shut up.
Anyways, next toast. What do you have for
Hello,
us?
it's me. Uh, so you know that this season is the season of Isekai, right? We got Hataraku Mouse-sama. We got what's it called? Fantasy World Cheat Magician. We got Two Hit Mom, and there was some other thing, right? What was it called? That thing. Oh yeah, that thing. That cool thing. You know, the one. And then the other really good thing. Yeah. Anyway,
What?
because I'm a cool dude, I'm going to do a double feature. First off, I'm gonna talk about. Is it this one?
Isekai Cheat Magician?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about some cheat magician. Isekai cheat magician, more like Isekai cheat magician. It's bad.
What?
Huh?
Keep going.
What do you want me to say? It's bad.
I mean, you decided to cover it, so.
So, let's start off. You got this dude. What's his name? What is his name? Taichi. You got this dude. Average Kirito-looking dude. Average Kenja no Majo-looking dude. He's hanging out there. You got Taichi. Then you got got his friend Rin, and then they're just hanging out, and then they suddenly get transported into an isekai.
Mhm.
As you all know, there are basically two genres. There's the genre of isekai in general, right? Then you got your two subgenres. I died and I got isekai'd over here, and then the one where they're still alive but they get isekai'd over here.
Okay.
You know,
That's it. Those are the only two.
those are the two main branches. Then you got your sub branches. It's kind of like the Zelda timeline where you got you got the thing where Link beats Ganon, and then you got the one where Link doesn't beat Ganon. Then you got the child timeline and all that.
Uh-huh.
It's like that. So this falls under I'm still alive, but I got isekai over here. Then what can I say other than this show is pretty boring.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect too much from that
The
show.
basic premise is Taichi is the cheat magician because he's got a power
I mean,
level of.
the thing is, like, if I really want to see something like that, like these days, I mean, again, I haven't read Light Novels in a long while, but I would just read Isekai Mahou wa Okureteru. Like this world's magic is too slow, right? Like at that point,
What the heck is that?
have you not seen that? It's been
What's the
on.
dude's name? Is that the one where? Is that the one where the dude is like
It's this one, dude.
he's like the fate? He's like a fate magician with his science stuff. And then there's the white-haired chick, and she's all like, "How did you do that?" And he's all like, "Do you not know magic? Do you not know earth magic or something?" What was that? Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I read that one.
Yeah. I would rather just pick that.
Where
if anything.
was I? Yeah, this dude, he's got this dude Taichi. He's got a power level of 120,000. Then his friend Rin has a power level of 37,000. And these numbers mean nothing because Taichi sucks at combat.
Well, yeah, I mean there's again not too
There's
much.
there's really not too much to talk about.
Yeah.
He's all like, "Oh, we encountered this horse and we got saved by adventures, and now we're gonna take our adventure test. But look at me, I got all this magic, and so we're gonna study under the most powerful mage in this kingdom. But she's weaker than both of us. But we don't know how to handle her magic, or else we die." And then they get trained by him. And that's about all that's happened so far.
But yeah. Okay. So what about the other?
This is basically a worse version of Kenjin no Mago. Kenjin no Mago
Yeah,
at least
that-
has interesting characters and world development, and there's more of a character spotlight. This one's only, uh, this one's only charm is that it's a dude and a chick, but like
Whoa.
that's it, really. It's
Yeah,
not good.
again, there's lowering the bar every day are these Japanese shousetsu authors. But anyways, what was the
Yeah,
other?
it's not
show you
good.
want to
Skip
cover?
this one.
Yeah. What was the other one?
That's all I got. Isekai Cheat Magician, you're boring. I mean, the opening is the openings where Taichi fights a dragon and they fight in space, and I'm like, what? Get out of there! You can't fight in the upper stratosphere. That's where Goku and Beerus fought. You don't deserve to stand on the same plane as them. It's not cool, man. Okay. And then the other one, what did I watch? Hello. I watched Two Hit Mom Fight. Spire, what's the Japanese name for this? I'm not gonna spell it out.
通常攻撃か全体攻撃で2回攻撃のお母さんは好きですか ?Also known in Japanese as OkaSuki.
What? Can you say that again in
Exactly.
English?
What is it? It's like, I think transliterated, or I guess it's also localized.
Oh, it's right there. Do you love your mom and her two-hit multi-target attacks?
Yeah. Again, the Japanese abbreviation is OkaSuki.
So a little backstory on this series.
Yeah.
This series is illustrated by the world famous Pochi. You know that Pochi guy. He does cool things. What, Spire? What's that thing with the older sister
What?
demon? Well, I'm not gonna remember the name.
Ane ni Narumono?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Anemono.
Pochi Ida has made the art for both of them. I do like Ane ni Narumono as well. I think Pochi Ida actually wrote for Ane ni Narumono, but she definitely drew for both of them.
So yeah, this is an isekai. Does this count as isekai? Not really. No, no one died.
No, it is an isekai.
How does
It's
it?
an isekai.
How does it
What do you
You
count?
need to die for it to be an
Didn't
isekai.
they go into another world?
No, they get sucked into a
Or is
game.
this
That's isekai.
It's
Eh,
not.
going into another world? Okay, it literally says, yeah, magically transport to an alternative world. What the
They're not. Ah! What is that?
Yeah, but like they didn't get hit by a car.
Oh, sorry. That makes it completely different.
No truck, no isekai.
It's like that's what the vibe of no truck noise guy.
Yeah, it's like how Zombieland Saga was an isekai. She got hit by a truck and she was transported to being
Yeah,
a
she-
zombie.
Oh,
Okay.
anyways, keep going, Toast.
I think his dog fucking killed him.
Yeah, his dog stole his recorder.
Oh no.
Hello, is this thing on?
It sure
It
is.
sure is.
My dog ran over my headphones. Can y'all hear me?
Yup.
Okay, so let me tell you about Pochi. Or no, what am I talking about? Oh yeah,
The
two-hit
series.
mom. So so you got this mom figure, right? And she's all like, "Oh no, my son doesn't get along with me." And he's all like, "Shut up, mom." And then this dude's playing this game and he sees this ad. I think he saw an ad? Spire, did you see an ad for this? Or was it the mom? I think it was the mom, right?
Ad for what?
The mom sees the ad for this game and like, hey, you play these Nintendo games, right? Let's play this
Oh,
game
yeah,
together.
yeah.
Was it the
The
mom or
mom
the?
is the one.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So the mom's all like, I see you like your Nintendo entertainment system. You want to play with me? And he's all like, no way, loser. And then some mysterious lady shows up and she's all like, you want to play this new special VR MMO just like Sao? And he's all like, oh boy, I'm in. And then the chick's like this, but this is the kicker. You gotta play with your mom. And he's all like, ew, that's gross. And she's all like, wow, my son hates me. I guess I'm going to kill myself. And he's all like, no, stop, I'll play with you. And then they get signed up. And then they get transported to the game world, kind of like Sao. And then he's all, and then it's all like, oh, you're the chosen hero. Here, have a cool weapon out of these three. He's all like, that's cool. Then he picks a weapon. and then the mom's all like, hey, you see those other two weapons? They look kind of lonely. Then she picks up both of them. And he's all like, oh no. My mom picked up weapons that have AoE multi-hit attacks, and all I've got is this cool sword. So it turns out the son sucks, and the mom's better. Because she's got two swords. She's got the Nitoryu style. And,
But yeah, I think
that's about it.
the thing. But yeah, I mean, the general idea is like she kind of runs around, she just does stuff, and the entire sort of the theme, right? The quote unquote underlying theme of the story is that the mom and the son are always sort of in tension with each other, because it's like the son wants to run around and do cool things in the isekai because he's like an otaku and he's just like wants to run around, but then the mom kind of ruins everything because she's so strong.
And then the dude's all like, oh well, whatever, I'm gonna go on an adventure. And she's all like, you can't go on an adventure without me, son. And he's all like, oh, Mom, do I gotta? She's like, yes, or you're grounded. He's like, fine. And then the mom interviews some party member candidates, but it's kind of like a marriage interview. That's kind of scary. So he gets this girl magician and this girl. Is it a thief or a merchant? It's a merchant, right?
I don't know.
It's a merchant. It's a merchant, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then they have fun adventures, but the mom's so overpowered, so it's like the dude's all like, oh no, I don't get a chance to shine. And then later on, there's some stuff about you figure out that everyone who plays this game does it with their parent. But then it makes you wonder why does the female magician not have her parent with her? And where's the merchant's parent? Then you realize why. Because and then once you figure out that one of the missing parents is this Gyaru who's making a male harem, you figure out what this series is about, right, Spire?
I mean,
What's the word? Is it Oedipus complex? Is that it? Where you think your mom's super hot?
no, that's not. That is not what an evidence.
What?
No.
Which one is it? Because everyone's all like, "Oh, your mom's."
Oh
super
no, it's a desire for it's essentially a lust or jealousy towards
gross.
towards your parents.
Because everyone's all like, "Oh wow, your mom's super hot," and then the dude's like, "Ew, that's gross." But if instead he was like, "I know, right? Isn't she hot?" Is that Oedipus complex?
I guess. Yeah, I guess. Sort of.
But yeah, this show's about hot moms. Then I guess that's all right with me. I mean, more power to you. If your mom's better than you, I guess. I mean, I'm not gonna. I'm kind of. I'll judge you on it, but like, you do you, man.
The thing is, I kind of it's kind of weird because it's like obviously the standard format and the standard implication of the series is like the mom is, I guess, in a sense part of the harem, right? And then it's kind of again the dude is doing whatever, and then later gets along with the mom, and then the mom is also a MILF, blah blah blah, right? But then like in the afterword and stuff like that, the dude is just like, no, I just wrote this story because I wanted to write, about sort of how people go through, puberty and kind of deal with, their mom kind of always being like so, over their shoulders and kind of like trying to micromanage and stuff like that. I'm like,
Nah.
I can kind of see that, but it's also
Nah.
like the way that you made this MILF is a little bit worrying.
Yeah, that's why she's hot.
Yeah, that's why.
That's why she's hot, and all the promo material is like, hey, wouldn't you love to use your lap as a pillow? Haha. Wouldn't that be funny? Haha.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, asking for a friend.
Like, nah, dude. Like, don't try to hide it. This is all about hot moms. Let's be real.
But yeah.
I mean, Pochi's the master of hot older women, isn't he? You got the hot demon woman, older sister. Was it Anemono? Yeah, yes.
I don't remember her name.
Anemono? I don't know her name. Isn't it like? She's which Lovecraftian demon is she?
I don't remember, man.
She's not.
I haven't even read
She's
that
the
one.
goat one. Which one's the goat one?
Ew, the goat one? That's a fuck.
It's
It's like a goat gargoyle. thing,
No,
right?
no, it's Shub-Niggurath. Yeah.
Oh, she's just supposed to be Shub-Niggurath?
Isn't she?
Jeb?
She's Jeb? She's my
She-
man, Jeb.
She's the goat one, isn't she? Because she got the goat horns and the goat feet.
I don't know.
I think she's Shub-Niggurath. Because then they meet some other lesser demon, and she's like, "Oh no, you're that demon," and she's all like, "I'm gonna eat you." And then the dude's like, "No, stop, One-san," and she's like, "Okay, fine."
That's all it takes.
But I
Uh,
mean, I guess what do you think about sort of the general message of the
It's all
series? Like
right.
in light of like you think it's like
It's all right. It's not hurting anyone. Unlike the Isekai
It's
cheat
not
magician.
malicious.
Isekai cheat magician is. You recommend that if you want to hurt someone. I mean-
Inflicting harm on people.
I mean, at least even Mouse Summer Retry, even though it's really subpar, at least it's trying to do world building.
Is
so
it though?
Yeah, because the dude's all like, "I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna travel the world," and I'm like, "That's cool."
I mean, does every isekai need world
Yes.
building? Is my question.
You see, Isekai cheat magician,
okay.
you're focusing on these two
All right.
loser characters, and they're doing nothing, and it's like, wow, okay.
I mean, obviously, if the characters are bad in the isekai, that's like one thing. But if the characters weren't bad, it doesn't necessarily have to do like world building, right?
Well, I mean, the question is, right, is if there's no world building in your isekai, right? Like, say, for example, I mean, outside of the idea of like, what was that one isekai where it's like the restaurant, right?
Which
Where
one?
it's just,
Isn't it just Isekai Restaurant?
yeah, the one with like the elves or whatever
And
that
the
came out
dragon? Yeah.
a while ago. Like that one's a very simple concept, right? It's just like the setting is essentially just the restaurant, right? And
Yeah.
the isekai is just a spin on what like the customers that come in, right? So that doesn't really need world building. But if it's like a traditional isekai series, like if you don't have world building, then in the grand scheme of things, what's the point of being an isekai, right?
Yeah.
You
Well,
know what I mean?
The whole point of Isekai is to escape the boring society to a new, more interesting world. So if your world isn't interesting, then what else do you have left?
I think at most maybe it's just like from the angle of I haven't seen the show, so I can't speak on it fully, but maybe like the idea of just being able to put them in those like situations.
What I mean, like what in
Because you technically don't need world building for that.
but it's
Yeah.
like
Well, what do you do beyond
Yeah.
just putting them into situations, right? Like the story can't just be the characters going from
what I'm saying about
situation
like
to
world
situation.
building is like because what I'm thinking when I say like world building isn't necessarily like other things appearing. It's more just like having some sort of permanent, consistent, like memorable things that you're like, oh, this is a part of sort of the culture, the tone, the atmosphere of the world, right? That is like that's actually world building as opposed to just having things like, oh, here's a thief. That's not world building, right? But like what I was thinking was like if we had Spice and Wolf, right? For instance, like Holocraft, whatever, just like traveling along, and then like they had some like kind of like memey like feudal things, right? Like thieves, hut in the woods, stuff like that. And but they didn't really have like how do I want to say this? What I guess it's like it's kind of hard to like because it's like I guess the more like because world building in a sense is also linked with how much detail you put in it. But I'm
Right.
thinking like if you had stuff like sometimes stuff like with how it's like they had the adventures of like stealing the gold with the sheep and like some of the feudal adventure stuff like that. They have that, but it's like if a story was focused much more on sort of the retrospection of the characters, right? Like with Holo, or like they're just kind of traveling along and kind of seeing stuff. With that, I guess would that still count as world building as more details came in, because then the retrospection would be based around the things that they had seen before, like what Hollow and Craft had seen before, and then pulled in to the story. Would you still call that world building, or would you call that like character focused stuff? Is what I'm wondering. Because then it kind of starts becoming, because that, in my opinion, I thought, like, I'm not saying I'm like correct or anything like that. What I'm saying is, like, I thought initially that was more like character focus, but now that I'm thinking about it, it could be considered in a sense world building, because like what is, like, if Hollow, for instance, right, who is from obviously that world, is retrospecting, right, or retrospecting, introspecting, whatever, and she's pulling details from her past, in a sense that is still the world, right?
Yeah,
So
like
like my mind was sort of changing while I was talking about that. But
yeah,
what do you guys
I
think?
get what you're saying. Like,
I would count that.
yeah, it's like how do you say it? It's kind of like I guess with like the way Berserk sets its world up, right? Like
Mhm.
in a lot of the Golden Age, right? It doesn't do too much like it doesn't go like this is how the world is, this is how the world works kind of thing. It kind of just the way the main character goes through the world is the world building, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's they're like so interconnected because it's like the history of whatever character that you're talking to. But I guess because it's like, especially I guess in isekai, in a sense where it's like, well, actually in isekai it would be a little bit easier, right? Because it's like the idea is that you have the characters and they're like an empty vessel right now, like except for the fact that it's like sort of a mother with, some sort of personality, and like a kid with some sort of personality, right?
Yeah.
And then they have this personality and they have this interaction, and then that interaction is slightly shaped by stuff that comes in from the outside. Like the author kind of throws in stuff from the outside, but then the stuff from, see, now this is the part where I'm starting to change. I started to change my mind. I was like, what if the stuff from the outside didn't really have that much permanence? But then I was thinking, well, if they don't have that much permanence, right, then they don't necessarily have as much value in terms of reading it, right? Like if you don't have like this, like a hut in the woods is something that is a little bit more like fleeting, right?
Yeah.
But then if that sort of episode isn't that detailed, if it doesn't really tell you something about the world, then it becomes much less valuable in terms of like reading it, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I do kind of agree that you do need heavy world building, in the sense where it's like where when we say world building, we mean like having details in whatever we kind of encounter in that world, right?
Yeah, especially consistent details, right? Like, you can't have the episode with the hut in the woods and then the next episode they go to like some fucking technological city, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
then the world they're in just becomes confusing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just think, especially for isekai, like the idea of putting the characters into another world, like a large amount of the appeal is world building, right? And just, I guess, in a way, exploring the world that they're in. It doesn't have to be like, Nasuverse level of details of like, these are all the rules of magic and everything. But just exploring the unique aspects of each world, right? I feel like, I don't know, you kind of got to do that in it and in isekai, right? So that was just my question when you said like
Yeah.
it doesn't really need to have world building, right? It's like, well, it's an isekai, it's another world, like it should build
I was
up
just
that
wondering,
world.
is there some sort of like, would there ever be some sort of like series where it is possible to kind of just focus on pretty much the character interactions and responses to outside sort of stimuli, right? Outside sort of, like, the author kind of like throwing shit, like, here's a thief, here's a, here's just, I don't know, them like getting chased through the town by something, right, or something like that, like these
Mhm.
episodes. But then those episodes themselves have much less detailed value than the interactions, the psychological interactions between the two people. You know what I mean? The two characters.
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, I don't know if it's really like that possible, because the only thing that I could think of like limited world building would be like you said, it's like, and maybe it would work in something like Konosuba. But even then,
Mhm.
you wind up stumbling into world building over time. So, when there's no avoiding it, you may as well flesh it out a bit more. But
Isekais are like JRPGs.
what I would say is maybe I think maybe there's like a disconnect between author and like uh sort of expectation of where an author might want to attempt to use it as just a tool, like I had said earlier, just to like get characters in different situations.
Mhm.
And it's it's another world, but the only real basis of it being another world is for characters to get like sort of thrown into something they don't quite understand, or like thrown into like game trivia essentially.
Yeah, it's yeah, because then it's like if you're making sort of the world sort of that shallow, it starts again becoming, as you said, more like trivial kind of. So yeah, I guess in the end I do definitely agree with Toast in terms of you do need more like world building, unless somebody can find this like magical formula for for having really like superb characters that don't need no world building, strong independent characters that don't need no world building, right?
I
But
mean,
yeah,
that's kind of what Konosuba is, and what else?
is it though?
Kinda.
Well, I mean, it's possible for the characters to, I guess, bounce off of the world, right? Like you don't like the characters simply interacting is what, like, I don't know. I don't really know how to say this. Like the characters just interacting is kind of what gives you the picture of how the world works, right? Like just the way the characters behave instead
Mhm.
of like having like this monologue of like this is the culture of this world, right?
Mhm.
Instead you just simply show the way the characters talk to each other, the way certain actions are reacted to. Um, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I don't know, but a lot of Isekai series just kind of just like these are the rules of the world. By the way, the main character breaks all of them.
Yeah,
So
it's I mean also Konosuba itself, like most the thing is it's like you say the characters, but it's like again the characters themselves are also sort of based off like bounced off the world's lore, right? Like the idea is like a significant amount of like what Megumi like reveals is the world, right? The Crimson Mages, right? And
Yeah, that's how
that's
I meant
evidenced by
more
the
of
fact that
like
like the Crimson Mages have their own like the other girls come out, right? The other Crimson Mage girls come out, like Yun Yun and Arue and Komiko and all these other memers, right? They come out, and that's again this part of the world that sure it's a part of Megumin, but then again it's integrated into that world, quote unquote world building we were talking about.
yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
what I was saying. Like the only way I can see it ever, like I don't see it working now that I think about it more. It's just that I think that maybe and the way I see it happening is that like an author gets wrapped up in the idea of just
mhm.
like for this one in particular, for like the mom isekai, it's like focusing way too much on like how could this get them into a situation where they interact, and then
Mhm.
it's just kind of focusing on them more than anything in their interaction rather than like really thinking about how to tie that into an actual world that makes some sort of sense.
Yeah. It's yeah. Again, overall, I definitely do agree with Toast, but it's definitely the series itself. Going back to OkaSuki, it's definitely a little bit I want to say an interesting premise, but it doesn't exactly hide the fact that it wants to kind of sell milfs. It doesn't hide it very well.
I don't see it.
So all in all, watch Two Hit Mom. It's you you like funny characters that are less funny than Konosuba, but pretty cool in their own right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
one of what is it? One of the moms is a Gyaru who has a male harem. You guys like that kind of thing, right?
Oh no, I remember. It's kind of like a villain kind of thing.
I mean, you guys like that kind of thing, right? I wouldn't know. I'm not a pervert.
But
Liar.
anyways,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Thank you,
Good.
Toast, for
Don't
reviewing.
don't don't watch Isekai Cheap Magician. Watch
Yeah,
something better.
yeah. Anyways, thank you, Toast, for reviewing Isekai Cheat Musician and OkaSuki, uh, or Two Hit Mom. And with that, we will move on to Dark. What do you have for
Okay.
us?
So on the previous week, I started watching BEM, BEM, and it's based on an older series. Apparently, technically, this is an original, but it's also like a remake of an old show from 2006, and then an even older one from 1963 or something,
It's kind of like Dororo,
or 68.
but
Yeah,
not.
if only it was as good. Um, yeah, so it's about humanoid monster demon, three of them. They're yokais. They fight for justice because they want to become human.
How can you become human by killing human demons?
Well,
Doesn't that make you more
I don't
demon?
know.
You know the
I think
demon.
it's more,
You know the
yeah.
demon rules is that when you kill a demon, you can eat it. You can eat it to gain its powers. So don't they become more demonic?
Like a moose?
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, it's not quite, it's not quite Illidan Storm for you kids out there. But they kill, yeah, so they kill demons. They have human forms, human like mimic forms that they stole from other dead people. Because they want to like take on their will on what they believe it means to be human or feel human. And so it's established that they can't taste, they can't really feel uh, that much, but slowly but surely, like apparently, like it seems like events uh, tend to bring out like more humanity in them through like their vision of justice. Uh, the series does open with a cop voiced by Maya Uchida, and she gets kicked out of the upper, as it's called, into I forget what they call like the other place. I don't think they actually call it like the lower or anything. I think they just call it like I forget the outer, something like that. Basically, she gets kicked out of like a regular city into the ghetto, where all like a bunch of demons are and everything. But not many people know about that. They just kind of know that there's like serial killings and whatnot that happen there pretty frequently. So she gets kicked out. Then she sees Bem, who's the guy in the like fedora, kill a water demon guy, and she freaks out. But she's not that important, so we'll get back to her later. She comes back in like episode 2, but it's really weird. Like it seems like they're setting it up to be episodic for like the 3 characters right now. So like Bem was
Yeah.
episode
I
1.
mean, that's sort of how the original series was, right?
I guess I don't know. I didn't watch the original, man.
It's just a not a reboot. It's a reboot, right? It's a reboot of the original, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so. But as far as yeah, I mean, it seems like vision, like just from looking at the stuff from the original, it seems to be very like much the same. But overall, as far as this went, it was like episode 1 was Bem, episode 2 was the redhead girl Annabella, and then I assume episode 3 is going to be Bello. Uh, But anyway, what was I saying? So it's like a weird sort of mystery thing in a way. It's like not really that much of a mystery, but it is. It's like some sort of like cop stuff at some points. It's like in episode 2, Annabella finds like some woman when she's in the mall because she lives in the upper as a demon.
Right.
And just she meets someone who knows the person whose face she took, essentially, whose appearance she took.
hmm
And that like freaks her out, and then she talks to like an old friend, and that freaks her friend out because like maybe they both killed her, maybe one of them killed her. Seemed like the rich lady killed her when they were kids, but uh then like the cops kind of get involved in the outer because they're like, oh wow, we found this body here. Isn't that weird?
Right.
So then they sort of like meet up, and then it unravels that like the person who was nice to Annabella and met her in the mall was actually the killer, and she's crazy. So then Annabella goes berserk, turns into her like gremlin form here, and then further powers up into what the only thing I can describe it as is gender bent Merkava from Eunice.
Wow.
Looks real cool. I wish that was her base form. And that's pretty much like essentially how the episodes seem to go. It's just like find an enemy, they fight them, and there's like some slight mystery surrounding it or cop drama. Um, Overall, the OST is really good, and I would say that's the most standout thing of this entire series. Is that the OST is quite good, especially the OP and ED. Um, the audio visuals are like really weird. Like they're not good at times, or rather, they're like subpar at times. I wouldn't say they're not good. They're like okay. They're functional, but they're not exactly anything stand out.
Right.
Then they're like pretty good at times, and then they're fine at other times. Like it's kind of inconsistent, but it's never like horrible. It's weird. It's like inconsistent between like you know a 5.5 to like in 7, like quality wise. Like it doesn't drop below the 5.5, but um
So I guess overall, you'd say
oh,
pretty much the audio visuals kind of carry the day more than anything else.
no, God no. The audios, the
Just
OST carries. Uh, the visuals don't. And that's the unfortunate part is that the visuals don't, and the story is like kind of like kind of weird. I would say the thing that has me interested right now is the characters are all right. The voice actor is pretty cool. I want to say BEM's voice actor is named Kensho Ono. Annabella's is Maya Uchida. Oh no, Sonia Summers is Maya Uchida.
oh,
Bella's
okay.
is
So there are a
Mal.
lot of big names.
Yeah, there's a lot of big names in it, which is like really weird too. But um, yeah, it's just I would say the standout parts of the OST. Story itself is like whatever. I'm very much more interested in how sort of like the enemies will go because since the series is an older series, there's some real whack shit there. Like episode 1 was like this water guy, but then he turns into a weird jester-looking water guy. I was like, all right, that's pretty interesting. And then episode 2 goes off the rails because the demon in it is like half bowling alley. Um, he brings up like a whatever the thing is from a bowling alley that like brings the ball back to you. He brings that up from
Oh,
the
really?
ground. Yeah, he brings that up from the ground and like has a big metal arm and he throws bowling balls. And he's got like a cleft chin, a pompadour. It was really just weird. But it's really out of left field. Uh, and so I'm very interested to see more of that and like where that goes. because that's not something you see every day.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess overall, would you say, I mean, to people that are kind of just coming in, obviously, most people watching this don't really know about, uh, the original series, right?
Yeah, I don't
Um,
either. So
yeah, and no, I know what I'm saying. It's like a lot of people coming. Would you, I guess, would you recommend this to them?
um, I mean, it depends. Are you willing to put up with like kind of mediocre visuals most of the time for like maybe a decent fight scene? And you're just really looking for just pretty far out designs, assuming they do get weirder. I can't imagine they won't.
Mhm.
Episode 2 introducing a guy who's half of a fucking bowling lane is pretty out there. I don't think they're going to step that back. If you're not going to be bothered by like the visuals sometime, and you just kind of want like an maybe okay cop, like a drama thing,
Mhm.
like some weird suspense. It also was like kind of weirdly paced in episode 3. I thought episode 1 was fine, was paced like really good. And episode 3 was like kind of way too fast,
Right, right.
kind of like resolve the mystery way too quick. Um, but if you're all right with that, you want to see some Animorph style fucking demon transformation, uh, and some like weird fights and weird designs, sure. If you're looking for something like, I see on Mall already it has Kekai Sensen as like recommended for you. Um,
Really?
not,
Not
I
not
mean, I
not
can see, I
not
can
even
see.
Dororo?
I mean, I can see no, because Kekai Sensen, like this is, it takes place in a city. It's like weirdos in an outer world thing. Like I can see why people would put that there.
But it's definitely a
Uh,
little bit different.
I mean, it's not only a little bit different. Kekai Sensen is just a little bit more like quality there. It's just
A little bit.
slightly, like a touch better of a series. Just in general. It's I don't know. It is different in the sense that I don't want to say like, flat out like, yeah, Kekai Sensen is just, better. Uh, but as far as it goes, I wouldn't really say like, if you like Kekai Sensen, you'll like this. It's like, well, if you want like a very specific thing from that Kekai Sensen also had with like the world and uh certain parts of like the really weird, wackier designs with enemies, then sure. But
Mhm.
if you're not looking for that, if you're looking for like, the comedy of Kekai Sensen and the and the visuals of Kekai Sensen,
Mhm.
no. But if you want to hear a pretty decent OST, you may as well look that up too when that comes out. Even if you don't watch the show, because it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's I guess yeah, I mean, essentially what you're saying is kind of like if you're sort of into this like similar like things. I mean, I guess again, Kekai Sensei is like really similar, but it's like, if you're going to do something like if you're thinking like, oh, it's like what Kekai Sensei is, so I'll watch like BEM. It's like you might as well just watch Kekai Sensei, right? It's like
Is it better?
Yeah,
Is it
It's
better
2
than
seasons.
Recreators?
that is better than
That takes place in a city, right?
I mean, if you want a serious answer, yeah, I mean, I would say yes in some ways because I'll actually like watch this show for the most part. Recreators obviously had better audio visuals, but I wouldn't say Recreators was much better in any other way, shape, or form. Uh, Reminder, at least from what I remember, Recreators had like one song in its entire OST, and that was the OP. And it was really good, but it was like one song. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
I would.
thank
It's unfortunate that it's not like a really really high production value show. You know, I'd say that's the biggest takeaway that I had while watching it was that it's a damn shame that this didn't have like a pretty big budget and like really good audio visuals.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you, Dark, for helping cover BEM. I know it's one of the bigger names out there, or at least if you kind of look at the context, it was one of the bigger names out there. So definitely need covering. And speaking of big names, here, what do you want to?
Here, what's the biggest name you got?
Show.
What's the longest name you know?
You know,
No, I
I'm
don't.
covering Vinland Saga.
Is the main character named Vinland? Is this his saga?
No.
Why is it called
Vinland
Vinland Saga?
Saga because Vinland is a land.
Oh, Vin.
Yeah, Vin.
Yeah, a Vinland. if
Vinny
you will.
lives there.
Yeah.
Before Germa killed him and took over.
Is that the lore?
Yeah. Why do you think there's a war? Germa's trying to take over the land of Vin.
Uh-huh. So Vinland Saga is an adaptation of a very big, long-running manga. Been going for how long has Vinland Saga been going for?
30?
At
Was it
least-
30 years?
many years.
I think it's at least 20 years.
Yeah, many years.
So Vinland Saga is a manga about Vikings. Yeah, the main character, uh, Thorfinn. I don't really know.
Thor. I get it.
Yeah, uh, is the son of one of like the most epic, super awesome Vikings ever.
You mean
Um,
Odin? Or
Odin's
Zeus?
not a Viking. Zeus is not a Viking either. And it's pretty much just a big romp through Viking times with a bunch of fights and shit, and it's been going for a very long time, and it's a big series. So Wit Studio, the studio behind small stuff like Attack on Titan,
just a little bit smaller.
yeah, has decided to adapt this, and it's interesting, I'll say. So
I mean, isn't it? From what I'm taking it, it's a straight add up, right?
it's a
I mean, with truncations, with the truncations, it's a straight add up.
I mean, it is telling the same story. It
Is it
is
adding
pulling.
stuff? What's happening?
It's pulling an Attack on Titan where they're changing some interactions here and there. They're changing the time that certain events are shown on screen. Like, so the first 4 episodes are out, and in the first 4 episodes, I believe they've gone through the first volume
Okay.
of the manga. And the first volume of the manga is, in a way, it's sort of like Vinland Saga's, I guess, Golden Age arc, if you will. A very short one, mind. Where for the first volume, the main character is Thor's, which is the main character for a majority of the series, father. He's the big bad, like the man who can kill 10 boats worth of soldiers single-handedly without a weapon. He's super awesome, badass. And he leaves the army because he gets sick of fighting. He fakes his own death, and he lives in this village in Iceland for 15 years. And eventually, his Viking buddies one of the war buddies he has comes to the island and he says, there's going to be a war, and despite the fact that you deserted, the king's willing to forgive it, and if you join and come back and fight for us, and if you don't, we'll kill like the entire village. Is basically what they imply. And so he accepts, and then it's revealed. I believe in the manga it's revealed after the fact, but in the anime they show it like before it actually happens. That the guy that comes to the village is actually hires an assassin to ambush Thor's and kill him. And when that happens, Thor's basically wipes out like fucking 2 boats worth of dudes, and then he challenges the leader to a duel, and he wins. But the leader is an underhanded bad guy, and he like takes his son hostage, and he's like, "Well, I'll let you like kill me if you just let my son go." And then they kill his dad, and uh, it then there's like a time skip, and Thorfinn's all grown up, and he's super edgy and angry, and then the series goes on. But the anime has gotten up to where Thor's dies, um, and the son is like super mad. But yeah, it's mostly straight adaptation, but it's reorganizing, I guess repacing in a way some of the way events happen. So it's
Right.
pretty interesting to see. Some dialogue is expanded upon, like some early dialogue between Thorfinn and I forget what the kid's name is. I think it's Faxi. It's this fat kid that always loses when they play war. Um, just some small, like I guess, character building stuff, which is pretty interesting to see.
So how do you think that? I mean, because it's sort of expanding in a sense, right? So obviously this is a good way to build the anime adaptation of it, right? Because it obviously offers something different while not, being freaking whack. Like they're just putting in like a random ender or something like that. Like
Yeah,
how it happened in, say, like a comic got kill or something like that, right? But
yeah.
how do you? I'm not gonna ask you like how do you think you like it, because I think that's a poorly aimed question. What I'll ask is how do you think it's going to end necessarily? Considering again, it's probably gonna get multiple seasons, maybe, right? But
More than likely.
it's at least like 24 episodes or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's 24 episodes.
Okay, so it'll probably kind of end up being like Attack on Titan, right? But hmm. It's definitely a more, from what I see, it's definitely a little bit more demure series than Attack on Titan, right? It's not really. Attack on Titan is much more, how do I say this? Much more flashy, right?
Yeah. So, um, Attack on Titan definitely has, I guess, more action in a sense. Not to say that Vinland Saga is short on action. There's quite a lot of fighting.
Mhm.
And I think I don't know because it took 4 episodes to get through uh more or less the first volume of the manga, right? I think it'll probably start speeding up once they do the the time jump where Thorfinn's like all grown up and he's angry and he's angsty and he wants to take revenge for his father's death and stuff like that. I think they'll probably go up to I don't know, they'll probably get decently far with the 24 episodes they have. I'm assuming this is going to get multiple seasons, so uh I don't know. I feel like they have a lot of room to play with, right? Because Vinland Saga has been going for a very long time. It covers quite a bit of story. So they could speed it up, they could take their time. I mean, there's a lot of points to kind of just leave off on if they I mean, even if they don't plan on going for another season, they could just be like they could just finish on the end of an arc, and I think people would probably be okay with that. Um, in terms of just being an adaptation, right?
Mhm.
It's hard to say whether this will go like Attack on Titan, because Attack on Titan, I think when Wit Studio first adapted Attack on Titan, I don't think they expected it to be like fucking worldwide, right?
Mhm.
As evidenced by the fact that season 2 took like 4 years.
Right.
But um,
Also, yeah, person commented like, I hope it has more success than Attack on Titan, but I don't think it will. I mean, like, the obvious like comparisons aside, I think um I might get some. I mean, I've already said many variants of this before, I think, but even like when it was coming up, but I personally believe that Attack on Titan was very much a viral product more than it was a very like a thing that is properly became mainstream in a sense. Do you know what I mean? Like Naruto kind of became like ballooned into this thing, but there was never a point where it was like there was some meme about Naruto that made it like suddenly appear everywhere. You know what I mean? Whereas Attack on Titan, like the opening and the memes it spawned, like obviously made it viral, like undoubtedly made it viral, right?
yeah, I
And
think Attack on Titan's popularity is very similar to Goblin Slayer's popularity, right?
yeah, I mean,
It's
like before Attack on Titan, like before the anime came out, like you again, we talked about this in data, right? Like when we talked about when Naruto ended, and I brought up like the Orcon numbers, right?
yeah,
The 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 year before the anime, the Orcon sales for Attack on Titan, like it wasn't even. I don't think it was even in top 15, like sales wise, right?
yeah,
For like pretty much anything, and then literally the year the anime comes out and like the opening goes and it goes meme and viral, blah blah blah, all that stuff, it literally like chunks off a third of the sales of like One Piece, right? like,
yeah.
like it's like what's happening, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was due to the fact that the first episode was, oh, it's so dark, and people are dying, and then of course the openings, like they spread like fucking wildfire.
You're right,
Um, it's very similar to Goblin Slayer, right?
right, right.
Goblin Slayer first episode comes out, it's like, whoa, there's rape, what?
Dude, the
And
goblins
everybody,
represent black people.
like everybody starts watching it. It gets super popular.
I thought they
And
represented, wasn't it the Germans?
I,
I don't,
you mean the Jews?
What? No, no,
I
it's
don't,
it's
I
the
don't remember
It's
what
I
people
thought it was the
were saying.
Germans,
People
right?
were saying everything. People
I
were like,
know.
Yeah.
they represent blacks. No, they represent refugees. No, they represent like it's
They
whatever. I
represent
don't
Trump's America.
don't think Goblin Slayer is smart. That's smart.
Keep
But
going, keep going, keep going.
but yeah, I think a lot of that was just like an explosion of popularity due to I I don't really want to say the word controversy, because like Goblin Slayer was controversial, right?
Hmm.
But Attack on Titan was not controversial. It
I
was
think
just
I think it was
dark,
just a
right?
perfect storm too, because that was
Yeah, I'm
also
leaning more
the height
towards
of Game of
perfect storm.
Yeah.
Thrones, because
Yeah.
and people were really talking about that.
Yeah, that's true.
Me personally, like I had kind of fallen off and hadn't watched much in a while until Attack on Titan came out. And then I started watching Attack on Titan. I was like, pretty alright. And I just started watching like a lot more shit and catching up.
Hmm.
But I just think it was just its accessibility and just when it came out, like just for pop culture, just Game of Thrones especially. I've always heard people talk about with it. People were just kind of like fiending for darker series where people die.
Well, I mean, I don't think the thing is, it's like I certainly agree that's a value add in terms of like getting more eyeballs these days, but I don't.
I don't think that was the cause of its popularity,
Yeah,
personally.
Well, I think it
the
spread
unique
because at
popularity,
least for
the unique
season
popularity.
one, it kind of led people to believe that it, at least for a while too, that it was going to be a sort of like survival series in a way, you know?
I don't know. I don't think. I mean, personally, I never got that vibe from Attack on Titan. Um, But I mean, it's the fact that Attack on Titan being dark is obviously a cause for people to like be interested in it, right? Like it's always been a thing. That's always going to be a thing. I just don't think Attack on Titan being dark was the cause for its popularity, right? I think
Right.
the fact that like it was the first episode was like immensely bleak, right? And people were like, wow. I think that like it was the fact that the first episode was like the idea that, this series isn't going to pull any punches. Like people are going to be dropping left and right. People are going to be screaming about like this guy died. Fuck.
Just like a Kamega kill.
And like everybody was like, wow, like this is going to be really bleak, right? I think that like explosion of just like, have you guys seen this? Like the main character's mom gets fucking killed. Whoa.
So does he.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think that was a lot of like just the main cause of Attack on Titan's popularity. And the fact that it was just like a dark action series kind of just kept people watching it, even though the fact that Attack on Titan's not very good. But
Right.
First season's good, but then
You
get
think if people
get into
Don't-
knew it was
don't-
flesh
don't-
mix,
pull that.
they
It
would
was-
have
it was
still
always
watched
bad.
it.
I mean, people are still watching it. It's
Yeah, but do you think it would have been as popular if everyone knew it was going to be flesh mix from the beginning?
I mean, probably not. I'm sure because obviously Attack on Titan's initial idea was humans fighting Titan, right? So I don't think people would have been really jumping on board if it was human in Titan fighting Titans, right? Like it kind of diminishes the appeal, the
Do-
initial appeal anyway.
Do people that like Attack on Titan, is it because they have the short man syndrome, so they want to feel like they're tall?
I-
Wow, I
No.
wish I was tall as the Colossal Titan, then maybe I could reach that top shelf.
Man, let's rise up.
But anyway, tying back into
Do you think
this,
that guy
I
at the
don't
bagel
think-
shop likes Attack on Titan?
Probably, yeah. But I don't think Vinland Saga is going to be as big as Attack on Titan. I see people talking about it, a decent amount of people talking about it. It's relatively mainstream. I think it's going to be quite popular. Certainly one of the most popular series this season. But I don't think it's going to reach Attack on Titan levels. I hope it's very successful, of course, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as big. I will say, however, I feel like Vinland Saga is being animated better than Attack on Titan, which is weird. Because granted, I don't think I've watched season 3, so I can't really say that like, season 3 looks bad or anything of Attack on Titan. But the first episode of Vinland Saga, it has a lot of CG blending. Wit Studio just does that, especially lately. But the stuff that is drawn, it's very sharp. It's very detailed, except for when you get in between frames of stuff that's far away, of course. It's smooth. It looks really really nice. It it looks quite a bit different from the manga's style, I would say. I mean, both are gritty like art styles, but it's a little I'm not really sure what the word is. So I don't know. Vinland Saga's art style is, it's kind of realistic, sort of, but then it gets into, like the typical cartoony stuff when there's like, uh, like a softer tone scene going on. The anime is more of just like it's a consistent style, right? So it doesn't really play with its art style.
Right.
Except for, like, there was one scene where Thorfinn was like having a dream about fighting the sea monster, and it was in this cartoony style, and it was actually really pretty well animated. But it's a lot more consistent. I feel like the anime is a little sharper, just in its I guess the way it draws its characters, like it's a bit more crisp. It's weird. It's hard to describe. It's just the lines are a little thinner. Um, you know, typical stuff, I guess. But
Mhm.
it looks nice. It looks good in motion. The CG blending, it's not very good. It's pretty noticeable when like the camera pans out and the 2D guy becomes the 3D guy, right? But I think in motion it looks decent. It looks solid. The drawn stuff is very nice. The action scenes are very well done. Um, they're really smooth. You can follow them extremely well. They don't get like super blurry or anything. Yeah, it looks good. It looks
Mhm.
really nice.
Okay.
I feel
So
like
overall,
from
I
what
mean,
from what I remember of Attack on Titan, I feel like Vinland Saga just looks better. I don't know if that's them, like the way they're translating the style just is different. Like the way
right.
they want to animate each of these series is like a different philosophy or something. But I think Vinland Saga just looks a lot better than Attack on Titan.
Would you recommend that for people coming in, would they read the series first or go into the anime, or like what's sort of the plan here for people who kind of coming in? They're like, well, how should I approach this?
Um, I mean, I guess that largely depends on like their preferred way of like consuming the series, right? So I feel like it's like with I guess it's similar to Attack on Titan in that way where like you can kind of recommend either or, right? Because like I said earlier, they're adapting it in a fairly like it's not a super straight adaptation, right? Like it's not a page for
Right,
page
right,
thing.
exactly. That's sort of
Um,
like the important thing about this question, right? It's like,
so I think the real key is like does somebody prefer like reading the source material? Do you prefer reading the manga?
mhm,
Or like would you rather not wait week by week for the episodes? Do you want to just like binge the series?
mhm,
Then, go ahead and read the manga.
right,
If you're one of those people who's like, I only want to watch the anime, I think,
mm,
it's a perfectly fine product, like on its own, right? Like, I think, I think the adaptation is pretty good so far, is what I'll say. If they go with the trend, because Attack on Titan, the way they've adapted Attack on Titan, I think is really good. They've added like extra stuff where some people had like quite a few questions about certain characters, and then they'll add extra scenes in the anime, that sort of like explain some things here and there. Um, so I think they'll probably do the same with this. Like they're probably constantly in talks with the original author and just being like, well, like, is this change here good? Is like, do you want to add like maybe some extra scenes here and there? Because
mhm,
a lot of the extra scenes in Attack on Titan are written by the original author, right?
Right.
So
Like it's pretty much like even the anime in a sense is like pretty much directed by him. Like
yeah,
much more so than like like obviously every anime has like the author's like input, but it's like he had much more direct like sort of.
yeah. So I imagine Wit Studio has a similar relationship with Vinland Saga. So I think like it's easy to always be like, well, just read the manga, right?
Right.
But I think a decent recommendation would be, watch the anime, right? And if you like the anime, check out the manga and see, like, if you want to, you can, read along with the anime and notice the differences, right?
Mhm.
Or you can read ahead and continue watching the anime and see if maybe some things are more expanded upon, some things are explained. Um, you know, I think, each individual go through is like very valid on its own. Um, and even valid like together. Um, I think it's a very
So
good
yeah, I mean,
adaptation.
definitely a much more interesting question because usually the question is asked when it's in the context of like you know what I mean, where it's like when the answer would usually be like, oh, if you're like okay with like a kind of like a diluted plot, but then you want to watch stuff, then watch the anime. But else, just you might as well read the source material. It's usually that sort of like aiming for that sort of question in a sense, right?
Yeah,
Even if I'm not like meaning to necessarily, like that's sort of inevitably where it ends up. But this seems to be one of the rare cases, and it's definitely on a pretty important series where that's not necessarily the case.
yeah.
So
I think both are like equal value. You know.
okay. Yeah, definitely very rare. But yeah, okay. So, any last words?
Um, it's pretty good. I'm excited to watch more. I'm excited to see how far they get. That's the one big thing I'm really interested to see is within these 24 episodes, just how much they cover,
Mm-hmm.
and uh if they go for another season, right?
Right.
Attack on Titan, it's very, very close to, catching up to the manga, right?
Right. What
And I think,
happens when the material kind of like?
yeah, once that happens, I think Wit Studio uh is obviously going to start looking for another like big series.
Mm-hmm.
Just like to keep that money rolling in, right?
Exactly.
And I think Vinland
Or
Saga.
just go full shaft and just run like Attack on Titan fests like every year.
I mean, they'll probably do that, right? But
Right.
I mean, a lot of that will just be biding time for,
Exactly.
please,
The
please
next cash cow.
make more manga chapters so we can make another season of Attack on Titan while
Yeah.
we just milk this with merchandise, right? But I think Vinland Saga is probably going to be their next big series once the Attack on Titan well sort of starts running low. Um, they can start focusing on Vinland Saga. I mean, it's pretty smart that they did this now instead of, like kind of panicking to do it once Attack on Titan starts to run out and be like, okay, well, we need something now.
Well,
Um,
to be fair, it's probably not like they probably weren't like because it's like in a sense every studio is always looking for a cash cow, right?
of
Like some
course,
sort of
right?
Facebook thing.
But
But it's not like obviously they were planning for like a next big thing, and because they had so much money, they could probably afford to kind of be like come to the author and be like, "Hey, I know you guys have big a popular series, but we can probably handle it or something like that," instead of going to some shitty small like series like 20 chapters axe series and be like, "Yeah, we'll just make this a quick anime," right? It's like so they had more. I guess what I'm saying is I'm not like disagreeing. I'm saying it was more probably just like they had more flexibility in their
yeah,
decisions,
they
right?
have a lot of breathing
Yeah,
room
they
for
have a
sure.
lot of flexibility. They could literally just like maybe they could even just like walk into Hollywood and be like, yeah, we could.
Yeah,
Let me take some of your shit and turn it into anime. It's kind of like that at this
yeah,
point. But yeah, definitely a series to watch out for. Whichever route you choose to go to, as you said, whether it's the original or whether it's the adaptation, definitely a good walkthrough. And thank you, Nier, for helping cover Vinland Saga. Definitely something one we needed to cover in this season.
So near.
Yeah.
Which is this better than the new God of War so far?
What?
Because
Uh,
the new God of War takes
You
place
heard
in
the
Viking land, you know?
It does. This series doesn't really deal with gods splitting mountains, though. So,
Why not?
because it's about Vikings fighting each other with axes.
Yeah, but like Kratos has an axe.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you explain that?
Kratos
Checkmate,
isn't a Viking.
atheist.
Sorry to say.
Are you sure? He's got
Yeah.
the axe.
What if he
Doesn't have
kills a Viking god? Does he become
He
a
doesn't
Viking?
have a funny horned helmet, though. So.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
He
Anyways, thank
kills
you.
dudes with horned helmets.
All right. We should stop now. But anyways, thank you, Nier. And with that, we'll move on to the news. Most of this stuff is these past 2 weeks is kind of like company use kind of stuff. So bear with us. A little bit of bureaucracy. First off, Crunchyroll announced on Thursday that it will remove the English dubs for the Helpful Fox Senko-san, or what is it? It's
Why?
Katsuyaku. Strike
Thank God.
Witches, 501st Joint Fighter Wing Takeoff, the slice of life spinoff for Strike Witches, right? Isekai Quartet and Million Arthur Season 2 on August 9th, 10th, 11th, and 17th, respectively.
Why?
The English
That's
subtitle versions of all 4 anime will remain on the service.
that's
I'm not sure.
that's pretty sus.
Senko-san fucking released like
Isekai
last season. It was
Yeah.
last season.
What's up with this?
Well,
I was
it,
like,
it
oh
seems kind of like
God.
it seems kind of pretty specific because it's like Senko, Strike Witches, Million Arthur, and Isekai Quartet. So I guess there's some specific like thing, but
Those are
are there
all from
voice actors
last
going on
season,
strike?
aren't they?
I don't know, dude.
It feels
But,
like
Also, that's not how that works. You don't strike as a voice actor and they have to wipe your like work you've
feels
already
like something's happening behind the scenes
it's
of voice acting.
illegal. But
These aren't all owned by Kadokawa, are they?
done. Ooh,
let's say
Senko-san is, I think. No, if any of the others are.
I think Senko-san. I know Senko-san. Well, I think Senko-san. I know Isekai Quartet is.
I'm pretty
don't know
sure
about the
Senko-san
others.
is Kadokawa. So you might
I think
be onto
I
something
think
there.
Strike Witches is a Kadokawa IP, right?
Uh-oh. Something's happening.
But anyways, next piece of news. So Takeshi Yagi. So Takeshi Yagi is director of many Ultraman tokusatsu series from 1996 to 2007, and producer William Winkler, the founder of William Winkler Productions, announced a partnership on Thursday to develop new quote-unquote Japanese-style science fiction and fantasy films and television series. The new productions will be joint productions between Japanese and US companies. The new productions will combine traditional special effects with CG and will focus on classic Japanese monster, horror, and fantasy genres. Pretty interesting, to be honest.
They want that Godzilla money.
Yeah. So Winkler has already kind of worked a lot with dubbing and kind of localizing Ultraman. But
There was an Ultraman dub?
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
it good?
Probably not.
probably not, yeah. But it'll be interesting to see them trying to kind of move more heavily into a global market. So we'll see how that works. Next, Kadokawa, Marvelous, and Egg Firm announced on Friday that they are developing a new project titled Kandagawa Jet Girls. So center and producer Kenichiro Takaki will appear with 2 voice actors on the project for a live stream presentation on YouTube, Nico Nico, and Periscope on August 1st at 8. So it already happened. Takaki revealed in an interview with Weekly Famitsu magazine in March that he's working on a new multimedia project that has planned game and anime. The project will be a completely original title. So the new franchise will involve girl characters who will quote unquote remain clothed.
Lame.
And this is a reference to characters in Senran and Kagura that often have their clothes turned off in battle. The issue featured an image of a beautiful young woman on top of a river covered in cherry blossoms and surrounded by cherry blossom trees. So Takaki stated in the same interview in March that he left Marvelous and he joined Side Games to work on console game projects. So yeah,
Oh, they're on Ski-Doos.
Like,
So
are they gonna
it'll be
use?
pretty
Are they gonna
interesting.
use the Senran Kagura engine for this? But no. But without the clothes, that's weird.
Maybe.
You can't do
Not
that.
sure.
That's illegal.
Well, I mean, it's a lot more than just like they've very clearly retooled that engine pretty drastically. So
I mean, what do they got other than Senran Kagura and like Valkyrie Drive that's worthwhile?
I mean,
Wasn't Omega Labyrinth
the
also marvelous? Marvelous?
um,
We ain't getting that.
well, Marvelous also has like Senran Kagura shooter.
But
So
that's also a Senran Kagura game.
yeah, but it's quite different. So like, I wouldn't really be surprised if
What
they're
if
able to retool that
what if the
properly.
clothes turn into jets? Is that what they're saying?
They say remained clothed, but I'm looking at this Twitter account, and they're pretty skimpy outfits.
Well, that's because the clothes turn into the jets, and then you can customize your clothes into jets.
Uh-huh.
You ever play
I
those?
don't know about
You
that one.
play those Senran Kagura games? You can do a lot with the clothes and the accessories in them. A lot.
Yeah, you can't turn them into jet skis.
That's only in Valkyrie Drive where the other person turns into a weapon.
Yeah. Well,
Anyways, we'll be looking forward to this, I guess, in a little while. Next, Bandai Namco Entertainment announced on Thursday that it is establishing the new company Bandai Namco Mobile, or BNM, in Barcelona, Spain, to focus on the development and marketing of mobile entertainment outside the Asian market. The new company will open in 2020 and focus on growing the mobile business within the network entertainment unit within the Bandai Namco Group. Blah blah, overseas stuff, unification, consolidation, etc., etc., etc. Right? This is right after a couple months back, or about a year back, where Bandai Namco Holdings and Shueisha announced that they will establish a China-based. They created a Shanghai-based company that's focused on spreading goods in China and stuff like that. So a lot of expansion by Bandai Namco, essentially. Mobile game front, rather.
Yuck.
Cool. Okay, so next piece of news: Cool Japan Fund, the public-private company that the Japanese government employs to fund projects as part of its Cool Japan program, announced on Thursday that it has invested $30 million in Sentai Holdings Limited, the parent company of Sentai Filmworks, High Dive, and Anime Network. The announcement noted that Sentai's quote-unquote Sentai's independent status makes it a rarity in North America as a licensor of Japanese anime. Yeah, so Cool Japan has dropped a big one on Sentai, I guess.
Wow.
Isn't that the cool biz
Cool
stuff?
Japan wasting money yet again. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Very cool.
Very cool, yeah. Or yeah, this is pretty funny. What when Year said Year has when Year said it has more than a grain of truth, because Nikkei reported on November 2017 that Cool Japan Fund Incorporated was underperforming in many of its investments, particularly projects that were spurred by business ties from company's leadership, including previous CEO Nobuyuki Ota and Chairman Kazunobu Ichima. So there was a lot of money poured into it, but it went to a lot of very weird projects, like airport random stuff like that, like stuff that you'd be like, yeah, I don't know if that's actually worth anything. So there was some news about that, I believe, about half a year to a year ago, right?
Yeah, I mean, to the point where even voice actors and musicians were saying this is a complete waste of
Waste of time, exactly.
I'm pretty sure even Gact was saying this is a waste.
Yeah, exactly. So not exactly. I don't know. It's good that the money is going to something that is related to anime localization and stuff like that, but still seems a little bit suspect, especially since it's kind of randomly going to Sentai, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see how that pans out. So a little bit on the people news here. First off, we have actor Rutger Hauer, who passed away last Friday, July 19th, or a couple of weeks ago on July 19th, due to an undisclosed illness at the age of 75. So he, in Japanese media, he's notable for voicing the antagonist character Master Xehanort in the English dub of Kingdom Hearts 3, replacing the late Leonard Nimoy in the role. So please wish family and friends condolences.
Damn.
Next, actor Peter Callouts announced on Twitter on Friday that actor and voice actor Gabe Kuth passed away on Tuesday at the age of 46. Callouts stated on Twitter that Kuth appeared to suffer a cardiac arrest while riding his motorcycle and tragically died as a result. So as a voice actor, Kuth has played such roles as Nicola Murphy in Mobile Suit Gundam Seed, Sachi Crossroad in Mobile Suit Gundam 00, Ken Midori in Beyblade Burst, a lot of the other like kind of shonen series, Susumu Makino in Boys Over Flowers, and Teen Goten in Vancouver dub of the Dragon Ball Z series, and Boys Arcade in the X-Men Evolution animated series. So again, please wish condolences to friends and family. The Walt Disney Company announced on Saturday voice actress Russi Taylor passed away on Friday at the age of 75. So she is best known as a voice actress of the Disney character Minnie Mouse. She began voicing the role more than 30 years ago. Has voiced the role in television shows, theme park experiences, films, video games, and animated shorts. She also notably voiced the character Queen Minnie in several games of the Kingdom Hearts video game series. In the anime, she has voiced the character as Daisy Nohara, Max and Shin's grandmother in the Shinchan anime, and Otama and Pum Pum. She also did some stuff from the Tales from Earthsea film. Please wish family, friends condolences. Next, the idol group Iris announced on their official website on Thursday that they will no longer appear at the Tokyo Idol Festival 2019 event on Friday due to allegedly receiving a threat on their safety on social media. The group made a decision after consulting with police, the event organizers, staff, and among themselves. In addition, the group has also canceled release events scheduled on August 3rd and August 10th. But they will still attend the Anime Weekend Atlanta event on October 31st and November 3rd. This is the group consisting of Saki Yamakita, Yu Serizawa, Himika Akanea, Yuki Wakai, Miyu Kubota, Azuki Shibuya, and Azuki Shibuya. So they're like voice actresses / singers, etc. The usual stuff. So very unfortunate that these things do happen from time to time. So best to take caution instead of risking some of the incidents that have happened recently, right? And a little bit of update on the Kyoto Animation incident. On the 24th, Kyoto Animation opened an account to accept, or not 24th, I think a little bit before that. But Kyoto Animation opened an account to accept donations on a couple of weeks ago, and then announced the details of the account. People who wish to send donations directly to the studio may use following account information. It has all this information. You guys can kind of Google the information, and if you want, please do send whatever you can. Kyoto Animation stated that it will give the funds to families of deceased and injured victims of the Kyoto Animation's first studio building arson a couple weeks ago. The company will also use the funds for rebuilding, but it did not specify if it will use the funds on the current building or a new one. The studio is aiming for transparency regarding the funds it received in the account, and it plans to reveal that information as soon as possible. In addition, the studio noted that it will post information on its website about fundraising activities on the studio's behalf after it confirms them. So again, please, if you can spare anything, please do send it to that account and check up to see where it goes if you're worried about transparency issues. With that, we are done with the news. Pretty succinct news because a lot of it was kind of company related. But in any case, we are going to move right on to the shoutouts and callouts. Shoutouts and callouts. Everybody has one shoutout, one callout. Shoutout is one thing that you want to get 5 out of 5. Praise to the skies. Any one thing, person, or place. And the callout is exactly the opposite of that. One thing that you want to kind of look down on. One thing that you want to insult, rage about. You want it to burst into flames. And it can be any one person, place, or thing. We will start with Nier.
Whoa. Me?
Yes. Surprise.
fuck, I don't know. Shoutouts to the fact that as the podcast was starting, I pulled Summer Bea in Grand Blue. Very cool. Thank you, KMR. Very generous.
Very cool biz.
Yeah. Callouts. Fuck, I don't know. Callouts to you know, I'm just gonna call out because it kind of ticks me off. Callouts to the fact that every goddamn Evo, fucking Numaki can't set up a goddamn proper stream for Melty Blood every fucking year. Something goes horribly wrong. Either like nobody can use their sticks, or nobody's mic is working, or the stream is stuttery as shit, or like they try to use Steam Melty for some reason and it like fucks with everyone's like inputs. Like every year there's something just bad, and it's like, just fix it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And it still doesn't prevent fucking like Japanese players not being used to any of their stuff, just beating up everybody in NA.
Yeah, of course.
But anyways, Dark. Shoutouts and calls, please.
So, I'm not really sure what the hell I'm going to shout out, to be honest. So I think maybe... I don't know, man. Shoutouts to I guess this Grand Blue event actually giving me like decent rolls for the free 10 rolls, because all the past events that gave out free 10 rolls like didn't really give me anything.
Yeah, that's because you fuck your luck up by pulling everything in simple pulls.
Whatever, dude. Whatever, man. All right. But this event, I got regular Beatrice or dark Beatrice. Is that regular?
Yeah,
I don't think it's
just
regular.
Bea.
Okay. So yeah, I got that. I got light fairy, and then I got dark fairy. And that was pretty crazy, and satyr. And then I also got twin souls or whatever, twin elements, which like I may as well have gotten fucking nothing. So that was cool too. But yeah. So that's neat.
What did you get with your SSR ticket?
Oh, with the SSR tickets, I got what are they called? The Lavina sisters or whatever? The light one, where
Nice.
it's the 3 characters.
I
Yeah,
got
their weapon seems pretty good.
I got Lucifer, a second one.
Character?
No.
Oh, I mean, the
Summon.
summon's pretty good, though. That's pretty
Yeah.
good. Because he can 150 cap, so pretty alright, honestly. I wouldn't have been too upset with that.
But okay,
Kind of
so
lame that it's not character, though. But yeah, so my call out is going to be a more of a vague one, in a way. Not really vague, but a more overall. Calling out World of Warcraft. Calling out again, really unique call out here. I'm calling out every aspect of it. I'm calling out the community. I'm calling out the game itself. I'm calling out 2 things specifically a part of it. First one being my man's Bellular released a new video that had some pretty good coverage of the new stuff for the new patch. But what he threw in there at the end was that he looked into the Final Fantasy XIV shop and that wasn't very good either. And now, just want to throw it out there. Final Fantasy XIV store is 1,000 times better than the World of Warcraft shop. Because 90% of the things in the Final Fantasy store are literally previous event outfits anyway. They just rotate out of the game. Because you know what they do? With every event, they add a new thing each year. You know what doesn't add anything new to its events that have been going on for 15 years? World of Warcraft. I would gladly have those items get taken out of the game after the year and then put in the shop a year later for $5. If it meant that we got actual content.
Yeah.
But instead the alternative is we just don't get anything. The other thing is that the mounts are obviously like literally the same quality, whether they be a store mount or an in-game mount. There's no like massive variation in like art assets and whatnot. And then my other call out was going to be to the WoW drama between
So
huh?
so all pretty much it's pretty much one overall con of
Yeah,
like
just
WoW stuff.
everything's been that's been happening in World of Warcraft the past like 3 weeks.
Mhm.
Been whack, all right? You know, Taliesin and Evitel. Never really liked Taliesin. Throw it out there. It's not really true. I subscribed to him on YouTube, but then he talks shit to me on Twitter. So I don't like him anymore. But talk shit to Asmongold. Lost like 5,000 subscribers. Still hasn't recovered. Pull your head out of your ass.
Yeah. Very unfortunate, but thank you for the shout cause. Toast.
What? Oh, what's up?
Shout
I'm,
out to college.
I'm
Shout out
playing
to Callouts.
Azure Lane. What? Oh, my shout out is to Kyoani.
Yeah?
Anything specifically?
No,
All right.
Kyoani for bouncing back.
They haven't quite done that yet.
They're bouncing back. I believe in them.
Well, I guess it's true. They said they would.
Call out to that guy. You know, that guy. I don't like that guy. That's
All
it.
right.
I don't think people do.
Okay, so
Spire, what are
Yes,
your
it's-
shouts and calls?
so my shout out is well my shout out is to my Limluck. Or so by lim I mean limited SSR in a mobile game. Have been very, very, very strong with me recently. I've been getting a lot of good stuff, just like free rolls and dailies, and like so usually it's like in these like games, especially when like sparking is a thing. Sparking is like 300 roll. You pull 300 times, and then you can get essentially you can choose whatever card in the pool you want. And usually if you can get it within, I want to say like 110 120, that's pretty average, right? Like within that, if you get like the banner card that you want, you're like, this is reasonable. So I've gotten most of my stuff within like, I want to say 60 pulls, like pretty much like the last couple like boxes that I actually wanted. I've been like, oh, okay. This is like, okay, yeah, damn. So I've been like sailing through these limited gacha boxes. I'm like, get the hell out of it. But it's been pretty good sailing, so shout outs to that. Call outs to um call outs to like the people that do very weird things at the gym and kind of like distract me while I'm like looking at them. Cause it's like there was this thing where it's like it was so weird. I like they're taking like fucking there are people who are taking like like I don't know. It was they were taking like things that were supposed to be working for like the glutes, like the butt muscles, and like trying to do like shrugs and stuff with them. It was like I don't know what the hell was going on with some people at the gym, but it's really weird, and I don't really appreciate that. They're very weird people. But that's my call out. People who do take like one machine that's like supposed to be working with muscle and then like randomly doing something else with them, and you're just like, what the hell's going on here? But yeah, that's my call out. And I guess with that, we are done with the shoutouts and call outs. And we'll be having, I think, 2 more episodes after this, right? 2 more episodes after this, and then we'll be up to, and after that we'll be having the fall 2019 preview show after those 2 episodes, or after those 2 podcasts. And then after that preview show, we should be in line to hit the first episodes of the anime series that come out, just as we start the next season's podcast. So that's pretty much our schedule. So watch out for that. We should still be able to cover most of the stuff that people want to listen to, most of the big names in these next 2 episodes. But if you guys have any suggestions, just let us know, as per usual. And again, if you like what we do, please follow us here on 4PlayerAnimecast, twitch.tv/4PlayerAnimecast. That's with the number 4. And on our social media as well, at 4PlayerAnimecast Twitter, on our Facebook, and on our YouTube. We have thoughts on Twitch as well as on YouTube, where we stream every other Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking about the latest and greatest in Japanese animation media. So follow us here, follow us there. And again, just if you guys have any suggestions for the next 2 episodes, just hit us up. And as always, we'll see you next time.